Well, from an impeachment trial to the heated election, politics have been a hot topic all year long. As 2020 draws to an end, let's take a look back at the year in politics.
2020 began with an impeachment trial.
48 senators have pronounced Donald John Trump, President of the United States, guilty as charged. 52 senators have pronounced him not guilty as charged.
The Senate voting to acquit President Trump, the White House calling it a full vindication and exoneration.
It worked out. We went through hell unfairly, did nothing wrong.
But the celebratory mood at the White House would not last long. The coronavirus crisis that began in China spreading across the world. The president downplaying the potential impact here in the U.S.
It's going to disappear. One day it's like a miracle. It will disappear.
But it did not. And in mid-March, the presidential campaign, the nation and the world came to an abrupt halt. President Trump put himself front and center in the response to the crisis.
Thank you very much.
But critics said he did not take it seriously, the president sparking major backlash with baseless claims and junk science.
See the disinfectant where it knocks it out in a minute. 1 minute. And is there a way we can do something like that by injection inside or almost a cleaning?
The Democratic presidential race was wide open at the start of 2020, but a massive win in South Carolina propelled Joe Biden to victories on Super Tuesday, clinching him the Democratic nomination.
Just a few days ago, the press and the pundits had declared the campaign dead. And then came South Carolina, and they had something to say about it.
Even as he ramped up campaigning in the fall, Biden held fewer in-person events and limited crowd size to comply with COVID-19 restrictions.
We are going to win 4 more years in the White House.
While President Trump rallied jam-packed crowds of supporters, very few people wearing masks. Looming large over the presidential race, the nationwide reckoning over racial injustice, the death of George Floyd sparking outrage and massive demonstrations. The first presidential debate was messy and contentious.
I'm here to call out his lies. Everybody knows he's a liar.
But you
I just want to make sure.
But that was quickly forgotten, with the president announcing just 2 days later he and the First Lady had tested positive for COVID-19. In the middle of all the campaign frenzy, the death of Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg. President Trump quickly nominating Amy Coney Barrett. Dr. Anthony Fauci later calling that announcement event in the Rose Garden a COVID-19 superspreader event. More than 24 people who attended contracting the virus. Senate Republicans moved quickly to confirm Barrett, shifting the balance of power on the Supreme Court to the right, perhaps for decades. In the final push to Election Day, the COVID-19 pandemic was front and center.
Donald Trump has waved the white flag, abandoned our families, and surrendered to this virus.
Other than the fake news wants to scare everybody, we are absolutely rounding the corner.
In the end, the election wasn't all that close. Biden built back the so-called blue wall, winning Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Wisconsin. He also flipped Arizona and Georgia on his way to winning by more than 7 million votes, 306 electoral college votes to President Trump's 232. Senator Kamala Harris making history, the first woman and woman of color to serve as vice president.
They've delivered us a clear victory, a convincing victory, a victory for we the people.
But President Trump refused to accept the results. The president for weeks making baseless claims about election fraud and pressuring Republican legislators to intervene and overturn the results. President Trump's legal team and its allies losing at least 50 cases in court, including 2 losses in the Supreme Court. Karen Travers, ABC News, Washington.